So welcome guys. We are live again and I hope the network connection will be fine this time. Okay. Okay, the stream health is still 47%, but it's better than the last stream. Okay. So in this session, I just revised the MongoDB, how I can use the MongoDB and how to connect the NoSQL database to backend and use the performance like CRUD operation like create, delete, updates. Okay. We revise all the topic in this session. जस्ट मैंने फिनिश किया था हम मोंगोज के साथ क्रिएट कैसे करते हैं एंड हाउ टू सेटअप वी अंडरस्टैंड ऑल द थिंग्स हाउ टू क्रिएट अ स्कीमा हाउ टू यूज मॉडल everything. Okay, so let's okay, so our stream quality is now healthy, so we can start it without any interruption. Let's start. Okay, so it's our VS Code and here is our PDF. This PDF is provided by virtual code. It is a YouTube channel. If you want to access this PDF, you just simply go the channel and search the backend playlist. You can't access easily this play this notes on a description box. Okay, so just go access because I actually study and revise the concept using this PDF because it's actually a great PDF because they mention only necessary thing that actually need to learn a backend development. Okay, so first thing, here is our file structure. This is an user.model.js. Okay, it is a file name. You can write anything here, but we write the user.model.js because in this file we have created a server, created a model that can take the take the input from the user. Okay, and we have stored that data in a database. Okay, so first you can see here is a database. Right now I use the MongoDB Atlas MongoDB. Okay, and if you want to access you want to use the MongoDB in your VS Code in a simpler manner, you can just simply use the Mongos is a library so that use the MongoDB and Node.js in a simpler and easy structure. Okay, let's reload the page and go to the home page, the main page of that MongoDB. Stream quality is actually nice. So here is our MongoDB Atlas cloud storage, where we can access the data and store data. So let's go to the clusters. You can create your own database there from there. Okay, I use the free trial that's give me a around 512 MB data. So just practicing. Okay, the browser collection, and here you just whenever you just create an account, just go to Atlas. Here you can just see the project ultimate section. Okay, you can just create your project using view all project. Okay, just create the basic project. Why I'm just teaching you, you can directly go to the chat GPT and a Google and YouTube, just how to set up a MongoDB Atlas. You can understand easily. Okay, we just simply go to the clusters. Okay, and whenever you click the cluster, here is an option that you can see the connect option. Whenever you click the connect button, you can see the many option. You connect your database to your backend. Okay, so here it is in MongoDB for VS Code. You simply just click on that and you can access your link and just copy that link and go on the VS Code, and here is the all tasks we have can do. Okay, simple. Should we start the code from scratch or the already written code? Is anybody on comment just say ki will we start the code from scratch or just explain the code that already written? It's all written by myself, but if I code again, that's helpful because it's helped me to practice a lot. Okay. Just comment all these things, okay? And here I just check how to set up, okay? How to set up the MongoDB from scratch. First of all, we have to just create our server using Express.js, okay? So we just write the import express from express, okay? And let's import Mongos. Okay, if you don't know how to install Mongo, just click on terminal and just write the npm install Mongos, and you can simply install the Mongos in your terminal, matlab in your folder, and you can use it when you need. And here we create our server. So we just use the name server const. You can write any other, but you can also write the app, your name also. That's also work as a server. So we just write the server. It's according to me. This is a good practice. It's in Express.js, and the next is we have just assign our port number. So you can write the any port number. You have a multiple, maybe 8,000 port number we can have used. It need or 6 to 7,000. Just simply close port and go and create just like 555. It is just okay. And now next create our first server. So we just creating the server. That's the basic thing. Write the server dot and use the get method, and then write your root where you want to access that file. Okay, this is your root. You can write any there. You get the home page, a routing. Routing is just like how your page responds on the basis of link. Okay, that will be a dynamically. So you can handle it using this method. Okay, and the next we have used the callbacks. It's a callbacks. We have just take a two argument, the request and a response, and just send the dent. First, don't send this. This is this is our. Hey guys, I'm back soon. So we are back again. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so we are वहाँ पे थे हम. Okay, so I just tell you how I create our link to connect MongoDB to the backend. Okay, you just simply click on that link and you receive your link, and then you have to just go on your browser. Just minimize the screen so I can just okay. Hmm. So here we just created our server using Express.js. We just simply need to write import Express from Express, and it is an import Mongos from Mongos. Okay, now you just create your server using Express.js, and we have assign our variable our server name as a server, and that is a port number where our server will run. Okay, so this is our root request.response response.sound. This is our home page. Okay, this is our home page, and just go on there. First of all, we have to run this server on this particular port, so we just write the server dot listen is a method is used to run the server on that specific port, and you just need to write the port. You can already assign the port value here, so we just need to write here. If you don't assign it, you just simply write 2000, 4000, you whatever you the port you want to run the server. Okay, just create a basic console so we can handle its will run or not. So just write the console dot log and just the server the server is run on port number. No need to write the port number, just add the dollar sign and write your port number here. Now we can start our server and check it is will work or not. Just go to our file directory, enter, and just need to run the command npm run dev. Just write the local host and your port number will be 555 and just enter, and you can see this is our home page. Our server is running successfully. Okay, now let's connect our server to the backend. Mm, okay, server is already in a backend, just like how let's connect our server to the database. Okay, so just we have just created a const mongo url and just paste the url there. Okay, so it is an url. You can just simply copy and paste. You can get this url from you can just get this url from your MongoDB. I just already said na, you can just access your that particular URL from MongoDB from from VS Code, and you can just using the cluster. And here is a browser collection where you can see your all the collections. Okay, and I hope you have a question: what is an collection, what is a database, and what is document. So let's understand this. And now we have jumped to the how to use and connect the MongoDB to our backend. Okay, first of all, let's check it's our visibilities. Okay, the internet connection is maybe slow, but don't worry, it will be fixed in soon. Yeah, okay, it's live. Okay, you can see my analytics. No problem. Okay, so everything is okay. So now let's understand what is an collection, what is a database. So सबसे पहले setup हमने अपना we have already created our server and we run our server and the server is run successfully. Okay, so let's create a now let's understand what is a database. We have already understand what is a database and what is collections and the what is document. Okay, let's suppose we have an data like this is a basic file. We not write anything there. We just okay. This you can see that it's like and square bracket. That is a collection. Okay, that is a basically collection structure. And this is a document. Okay, that is a document, and this is document one. Okay, and this is document two. Okay, ये हो गया. We just comment here. This is our doc one, and this is our document two. Okay, actually, I have a P in PDF. They have a better explanation of this. Let's go on there and see it. Mm-hmm. Here you can just see. Yeah, that is. This is the collection. That's if any of content will be stored in that square bracket, that will be treated as collection, and this is an every object you can see that is a document. Okay. In simple ex- in simple line, what is a document? Uh, collection of combination of document is collection. Combination of collection is database. Simple. Okay. Can I repeat again? What is document? Document is combination of document is collections. ठीक है? Combination of doc combination of datas in a method. Just like a little confused just on definition. I understand the concept very clearly. Hmm. That is a database you can see that is a collection. ठीक है? And that collection is stored the data. The data it will be ID, name, and age. The just like you have a ID card, and ID card have a mainly the three type of data: your ID, your age, your name. That is treated as a document. Okay, and suppose you have a branches, then every in your company you have a branches like a tech department, a finance department. So suppose the tech department it will be a collection, and these documents are the employee that working under the tech department, and in this collection another this is the finance department where this document too and working in that department, and combination of both that is a database. Okay, simple, and we understand it. Okay, so now let's create our database design. Let's create our database. Okay, so now we just connected with the help of that particular link that I have there. Okay, is anyone watching this? Don't use this URL. Okay, and I know अब ये चीज बोले तो कोई ट्राई ना करे तो करेगा ही. Okay, let's create our server. Create our how just connect our database to our backend. Backend to database, whatever you say. Okay, use the const MongoDB. You can write anything. I just use the DB. I also use the database as well. Okay, and if we have any operation where we that fetch the data and send the data, it will take a time. A JavaScript is a synchronous language, so they will code the run by line. It's not waiting for fetch. So we use the async function here. Okay, async, and after the sync we just write the mongos dot connect MongoDB async. What is the problem? Okay, we have to create an arrow function. Okay. We use the wrong syntax. Okay, this is an async, and we use the two method, the try and catch method. Okay, try catch method is very useful if we use the data, use the code where we can extract and retrieve the data. So if we get any error, so you can catch the error and work easily. If you don't use this, you can take more time to fix a particular problem because you can't understand it easily. So let's start it. Just write await mongoose dot connect and write your URL here. Okay, and whenever it's connect, just write the console dot log and the database is connected successfully. The database is connected is successfully. Okay, and the next is in error we just write the console dot log. Console.log, yeah, we can write the response here first. In console.log is the basic response dot return. We use a return statement. Return dot return response dot. You can use response here. ठीक है? We can no, we use not response. We use status. Status status will be 4000. It's when it's, and here we can write the status is uh, it's our choice. We can use it and not connect. We just use the status 200 201 200 200. ठीक है? Okay, it is will show that our server is successfully connected. The code is you can understand in a response. You have 100 to 200, 200 to 300, 300 to 400, 400 to 500. That is the range that you can justify your output. Okay, just wait a second. It is a status code. If the code is related to information is response, we can use the value range between 100 to 199. But if the response is related to a successful response, so we use the range between 200 to 299. Okay, and uh, a redirection message, if we have to send the redirection message to our client, so we use the 300 to 399, and client dot error response 400 to 499, and server dot error dot response is 500 to 599. Okay, this is a basic response code. So you can see our MongoDB function is successfully here. Let's call it in their server. It's a port number. You can just write the Mongo MongoDB, na MongoDB, and just call this function here. And you can just await what happened. Return. Okay, return dot mm, response. Not need to response. We have to root this JSON. We can't use JSON there because we not imported yet. So just use the क्या है? Not there. This is the wrong. Is it there? Server dot use express dot JSON. I will be back soon, guys. I will be back. तो या बैक। सो कहाँ पे थे हम? सो वी आर जस्ट connect our server. Okay, what is that? Why it's giving me an error? So an error. Okay. hmm we need to send the response here. So we use the JSON. Now it's working. JSON, and we create a object and send a message. The message will be database is not connected. Simple. And let's check. And here we just see the response. Should our database is connected or not? Okay. We still have an error. Let's fix. We return this. Okay. Const dot status now. Let's check the code. I think it's very minor mistake. It's why our database is disconnected. Let's 6 second. First thing, it's not a server, and we treated this code as a server. It's not a server. It's just we send the request and connect the database. We can't perform any operation like proved there. That's why it's give me an error. Let's fix it. Just write the console, and here we just print error. And in whenever we call this function, first this block of code will run first. If if the if the code is run without any error, but if the code give any error, it will catch there, and we can read the code error in there. Okay, let's see is our code is successfully connected or not. He said the rest is not defined. Let's check. Okay, we don't need to send this as well. And now I showed this will connected. So you can just see the database is connected successfully. Data bus nahi, database. Okay. So now the database is connected successfully. Let's revise the code again. Okay. First thing, we just created a MongoDB function. It is an async function. The try method, we have just simply write the mongos dot connect and mongo URL. And this is a URL will be stored in that variable, and we just simply write that variable name there, and we just print it use, and that we just print the response there. Okay, basically a result. So now you can see the database is connected successfully. Okay, so our next step is what is schema and model. Okay, let's create our first schema and model. Just like we have created a schema for an school. Okay, we just created a schema for school students. Okay, not teachers, only for students. Just write the import Mongoose from Mongoose. Okay, and let's create our first one. We just first we assign the variable name and we use a particular name and then use a schema. So we create a student schema now, so we can write it student schema. Okay, and after the student schema, we just write the mongoose dot schema there, and it will take our two argument. First is compulsory and second is optional. Okay, so we we also talk about what is the role of second. Okay, what is the role of second? So we just write the timestamp there. It is used to just timestamp. It is just basically used to track the time of a user. Whenever the user created the account, which time the user will update, every will be updated with this timestamp. Okay, so we just write time as TAM. Why it's not give me any suggestion? Time. Why मुझे क्यों नहीं दे रहा भाई टाइम स्टैम्प? वाई टाइम स्टैम्प इज लाइक मुझे कॉपी पेस्ट करना पड़ेगा? इट्स नॉट फेयर. Maybe I not created value, any blueprint there, so that's why it not give me a suggestion. So first, for before writing this, we just create our basic schema. Okay, schema is just like a blueprint of where you can just sign up. You just create any account on Instagram, suppose. So you need some particular data, particular information. If you have that particular data information, so that's you can create your account and access your data. Okay, and every user has a different username, maybe a name same, may name same and similar, but a id is always different. Okay, and the id will be created by MongoDB dynamically, so we don't need to assign any id twice. How we can assign all as well, but it's depend on situation. So let's create a schema. Every student has a name, every person has a name that exists in this world. Okay, user का data type क्या होगा? It will be a number. Mhm. If you are just watching the Stranger Things, maybe it's 11, but we don't use the 11. We just write the name here. So we just write the type. Type will use to assign the what is the data type of that particular variable that stored that data. So user is stored a data that will be a string format. So just write the string there. Okay, and it's the name is requirement. Yes, name is required. Okay, so we just write the required and it's assign the value true. Okay, and should be name is unique? No, many user has the same name, so we just write the we don't need to make it unique. When it's create a roll number, it should be unique all the time. Okay, user, and every student has a age. Just created a age. We just separate from comma age and just write the type, and it is a number. Okay, it's not a string. You are just taking a age, it will be a numerical value. Okay, don't need to close it, we have used to column comma. Okay, and the next is age is required. Yeah, it's required. On the basis of that is will be informative when it's have to create us required true कर देते हैं इसको. Okay, and let's create a roll number. Every student has a roll number. Okay, we have just used the basic thing that most of the time this is the basic detail जो स्टूडेंट की होती है okay type and we just write the type, it's also a number, and uh, required, yeah, it's also required, and we just true. And yeah, it should be a unique, yes, of course it will be a unique. So we just write the unique, we define the unique, it unique will be a true. So this is our basic schema. We can also add a course name here. Yeah, course we use the course and classes as well. We just use the class because if you're in school, school has a class. Class it should be a type. Type it will be a string ले लेते हैं 12 that class वैसे 10 11 12 it's don't like, it's not a good practice. Okay, so just we use the class as a string, not in semicolon. We have to use string. Okay, and class is unique. No, class unique की जरूरत नहीं, required, हाँ required तो जरूरत है क्योंकि टीचर अगर किसी को भी मतलब स्टूडेंट को एक्सेस करना है तो ये सबसे पहले वो कहाँ जाएगा, वो क्लास में जाएगा, है ना। Required true. Okay, so this is our basic schema that we have created by own self. Okay, मुझे क्यों नहीं दे रहा भाई टाइम स्टैम्प, व्हाई टाइम स्टैम्प इज लाइक मुझे कॉपी पेस्ट करना पड़ेगा, इट्स नॉट फेयर। Maybe I not created value, any blueprint there, so that's why it not give me a suggestion. So first for before writing this, we just create our basic schema. ठीक है, schema is just like a blueprint of where you can just sign up, you just create any account on Instagram suppose. So you need some particular data, particular information. If you have that particular data information, so that's you can create your account. Okay, so here we are. We have just successfully created our schema there. And now we have created the model. The model is nothing. Model is just used to perform a operation or on a schema. Okay, so just write the const and we just use the user. You can write anything just like a variable, treat it as a variable. You need to just write a mongos dot model. And in model you have to pass the two value. The first is the variable you assign there, and the second is schema, and the schema is that's it. ठीक है, and we have to pass this particular model into that server so we can perform operation. Okay, so we just write the export and export, what we should we write, export default user. Okay, so now we can import the user in any file and perform operation. Okay, so we just write the import user from user dot model. We have need to write extension as well. Okay, so क्या क्या हमने कर लिया, लेट्स गो ऑन दिस notion sheet and just check. We should understand what is database and SQL, no SQL, what is MongoDB and Mongo's document collection database, everything. Okay, what is schema and model? and how to create and use. We also created our schema. And what is the use of server.use.json? It is just server don't understand the data, it will be a numerical or string. So we have to use the express.json. So it will convert the JSON data into an object format so we can access it. Okay. So now let's create our first server. They can where we can send the data from client to server and server to database using a HTTP method. So let's create our first server. We just write the const and to the const right, we have created a server dot post. We have to post data. So we use the post and take and assign the root. So we just write the root create. Okay. And now the next what we do, we just simply we can send the data. So maybe it take time. So we create a sync function there, and here we write the callback request and response, and in there we just send the create the data. Okay, that is create the data that user can write in server.body. It will be sent to the server on that particular root number. Okay, so what we simply do, we just click the required. Okay, try and catch method there. यहाँ पे हम क्या करेंगे, यहाँ हम करेंगे I forget something, but don't worry, just write the code that I remember. Const create a variable that we have to user age roll number and class. Const user, const user, const age roll number and class. Roll number and shift order roll number. Okay, and the next is const class and const age. Okay, so we just need to write the response. We have taken a response from a server, so we use the response. Okay, response dot body dot user. Okay, and here we write the response dot body dot age. Okay, and here we write the response dot body. We take the data from body. Okay, body dot roll number and response dot body dot class. Okay, okay, okay. Class is a reserved keyword, so we use the quotes. Okay, that class is used in a oops concept. Yeah, I forget it, but now I remember. So we have used the quotes there. Okay, and write the okay. Now what we have to do? We just use the create method now. So just write const const just before creating a data, just write what console dot log into a console log, we use the response. Okay, response dot send user age, roll number, and course. In catch, we have just write the return. In there, we use the return function. Okay, because we have perform operation on root. Return response dot status should be a 400 dot JSON message, and the message will be, you just simply write the error there na? Okay, so now it's created successfully. Let's run this. Let's try this. What happened? We have what happened if we perform operation this on this root? Okay, before running, just check this code is running successfully. So we don't need to, okay, throw new. Okay, new model, because yeah, we if we create a new schema, so we need to use the new there. So new second argument to a model. We use need to this in small case. Okay, so now it's the all bugs are fixed. Let's go our Thunder client. Okay, and send the request, and let's check what the response we have received. Should be a working or not. If data will respond to the server, then we connect the server to the database. Before starting it, we just connect करते हैं पहले. Okay, localhost and the server is 5555, and we or root number create, and here is a body, and we send the data in a JSON format. So just remove it, and first we have used the name. Okay, no name, it's a user. यूजर के अंदर हम वैल्यू डाल देंगे नमन. ओके, and the next is age is 20, and next is uh, roll number, and roll number it will be roll number is anything 1 2 3 4, okay, basically. And the next is course, cour, course should be a BCA. Now let's post the click on send button, and let's we have received an error bad request message. Let's check the code. Okay, we not taking response, we have to request. Let's try again. Still giving an error. First we read the codes and understand कि क्या रह गया. Okay, const new user. Okay, link request, const new user, created a variable with new user, await user, it is a model, and इस मॉडल के अंदर क्रिएट किया और उसके अंदर नेम करके हमने उसे डाल दिया. ठीक है, Okay, let's const user, new user. Okay, and we just use the user. Okay, user dot create, and on the create we just write this. Okay, user age, roll number, and course. Case. Okay, जो भी डेटा हमें इस रूट पे आएगा इट विल बी स्टोर्ड टू द यूजर डॉट क्रिएट मॉडल. ओके, ऑन स्कीमा पे. ठीक है, so if this code running successfully we just send the response dot status 201. It's used to when I created successfully, and smart dot send the JSON. It need to don't need to send the JSON and write the new user there. Okay, let's send it again. Still an error. Okay, we can't use await here. Let's send it again. Okay, so now it's time to use the chat GPT, because I still don't understand why this code is not running successfully. Just go there and paste. Data sent from client come in requested body, not okay. Path course is required. Okay. Course is required. So I have already mentioned a course there. It will be okay. It's a typo error. Let's see. COURCE. तो इसको S करते हैं. And let's try it again. Okay, now is error. Okay, duplicate error.